Hey everyone, Neil from Merch Informer here. I've been getting a ton of questions from people on Facebook as well as YouTube and through Merch Informer asking us how we do our essentially our research to find products that are selling consistently. Now, I've done some videos in the past on YouTube about how we use the keyword finder, and it seems like people really got attached to the keyword finder, and that's not the keyword finder is a great way to start if you have no idea what niche you want to start in. But if you have a certain idea of a niche that you might be thinking about putting some designs out into, that's not actually where you want to start. So, as a little example, we will log in here. You're brought to the home page here. And the place you're going to want to start is the product finder or the product search. What this is going to do is you can enter in any keyword you want, any niche. It's going to bring back the top 100 selling shirts. So, for an example, let's say that we had the idea that we want to do a shirt on dance. So, simply put, we just type dance. I usually keep it as merch by Amazon shirts. You could pick t shirts. Side note, if you want the premium option shirts to show up, you want to pick t-shirts, but the majority are usually the Anvil shirts, so I'll keep it at Merch by Amazon. Hit search. Now what this is going to do is in a few seconds here, it'll bring back the top 100 best-selling shirts for this keyword, but I'm going to show you the process of how we take this keyword, which is, what we're going to start with, and then niche down to something that we can actually create. So as you see here, 100 total results, gives us the price. So the first thing I would do is I would just start scrolling down and looking at what's for sale. These are dabbing t-shirts, have been extremely overdone, tons of competition, but if you're successful, you can see that they do sell well. Scrolling down. Okay, here's a very simple design, straight out of dance class. That is not trademarked. I know that from personal experience. As you come over here, this column shows that it has a BSR from when this video is being created of 120K and it's selling pretty well. Okay, so what I would do is I would look at the phrase straight out of dance class. I would come back up here and I would just put that straight back in here, straight out of dance class. Okay, now we're going to see if that we niche down a little bit from dance to straight out of dance class, and we're going to see the results. What we see straight off the bat is that there's only 20 shirts that Merch Informer brings back that are doing well. Only 20 shirts. So that means we went from a possibility of competing against thousands of other people if we were to do the dabbing shirts, but we came across this one, we niched down, we did another search, comes back with 20 shirts. So as you come down here, what you want to look for is you want to look for that the niche that we are looking at has demand, and you do that by looking at the BSR and the estimated monthly sales. So as you see here, this is the best seller. This is also selling as well, so 244K BSR. I generally personally like to target around 100 to 3 to 400,000 BSR because that seems to be the sweet spot where you're still selling a few units each month or at least each week, but you also do not have as much competition as seen from this particular keyword. It only has 20 designs. So as you're coming down here, this is a super straightforward design. You could easily make this better by blowing up the design a little bit, maybe adding some stressing onto the lettering, maybe switching the white to put the white here and have this one not have a transparent background. These designs are super simple, and yet they are still making sales. Look at this one. It looks terrible on blue, and they still have a BSR, which means this person sold a shirt. So from there, I would probably get these created. But let's say I have, 10 more shirts that I need to do today. What can I do? Well, the first thing is you need to think of, the keyword we did is dance class, right? So think in your mind, what are other keywords that are related to dance class? Well, the first thing that pops into my head is tap dancing. Okay, so I would come up here and I would type in tap dancing and hit go. We know that tap dancing is a hobby. People probably take classes on it. So this is just a shot in the dark. We'll see what comes up here. All right. So as we see here, tap dancing, 100 results. So there's a lot of shirts that are sort of related to tap dancing. We're coming down here, and we're look. So I usually look at the design first, and if I like the design, I will also look at the price, the BSR, and the sales. That's the main things I'm looking for as I start my search. So the first thing I do is I see this tap like a sport, only harder. I see that it's selling well and it's in the BSR range I like to search for. So right off the bat, I'm just going to take this phrase, tap like a sport, only harder, throw it back up here. This is going to help us niche down as well as make more sales with less competition. So as you can see, simply by putting tap like a sport, only harder, our niche down keyword up here, we're going to bring back only 8 results. So as you're scrolling down here, we see that this one is selling. It's got tap like a sport, only harder. Here is a shirt with a very small design, and it's sold in the past. Okay, it's not the highest BSR ever. But simply from looking at this shirt right here, we'll click over to it. We'll take a look. No reviews, right? So that's a good sign. If it doesn't have reviews, you can easily come in and put out a design that looks a little better, because once you get a review, I mean that shirt is usually pretty solidified in the results, and it's going to continue to do well. So no reviews. Second thing I'm going to look at is the price. Most people are putting their price at $19.99. So the first thing you could do is make sure you have a better design, and then there's a lot of room to play with the price. And you could come in at $19.79. You could come in at $18.99. You could even come in at $15.99. If you're looking at these, this is the best seller. It's doing 18 monthly sales. There's definitely a lot of room to play with the price. The third thing I'm going to do is come down here and I'm going to look at the bullet points and pick out what keywords this person is using for this particular shirt. So if you're reading the bullet points, it says the perfect tap dancing themed tee for any competitive amateur dancer, professional, high school, or college student. Okay, so essentially what they did is they just keyword stuffed this description. Looks pretty bad. It reads even worse. I would not recommend doing that. But the first thing I would do is I would realize that one of the keywords here is amateur dancer, right? We want to look for keywords that are relating to the design about tap dancing. So we have amateur dancer. If you look at this second bullet point, you have dance fanatic. You have tap dancing lover. We're really just looking for words in the features rather, that describe the shirt. So if you're coming over here and you're like, oh, this one says professional. Well, professional has nothing to do with tap dancing. But amateur dancer has something to do with tap dancing. So if you were to recreate this shirt in a better manner with a better design, you would probably want to add amateur dancer to your features in sentence form. Don't do what these people are doing and just list out as many keywords as you could possibly think of. Make sure that you're saying your sentences out loud to yourself and that they sound correct. I mean, this keyword stuffing might work in the short term, but in the long term, this is a business. Amazon doesn't like that, and eventually those people will probably be removed or dealt with. So just don't do that. So once I come in here and I've looked at the keywords that these shirts are using, all I need to do then is I'll usually add it to my favorites here, you have to come up here and hit add to favorites. And then I'll simply get the design created and I will put it up, and I will know that if I come out with a better design, I'm at a competitive price, and I use the same keywords that this person is using in a sentence form that actually reads, correctly, that I'm going to make sales because there is little to no competition. And it was super simple to find this because we had an idea. We looked through the shirts that were actually selling, and then we took keywords from the shirts that were selling and niched them down to a niche that we can easily attack and make sales in without competing with 10,000 other people. So that's pretty much the process in a nutshell. You want to repeat that as many times as you have slots available. So you can either start with this method or you can visit a link in the description below, which is going to show you how to use the keyword finder if you do not have an idea of what niche you want to start with. So that's all for today. If you can like and subscribe this video, that would be great, and I'll catch you on the other side. Thanks.